All right, my name is Smitherman. The presentation is on last planner. It's Barrier's last planner. It's my capstone, and I wanted to give you guys a chance to review it for me. Kind of an outline. What we're going to be talking about is we're going to go through an introduction to the study, literature review. We're going to talk about what the last planner system is. We're going to talk about research methods, the data analysis, and then my conclusions and my recommendations for the study. All right, so starting out with the background, lean construction was originally kind of pioneered by Greg Howell and Glenn Ballard. The system is based off of the Toyota production system. It was their manufacturing system. They incorporated just-in-time manufacturing that helped them to reevaluate their processes, streamline their processes, and eliminate waste. The mantra of lean construction is maximizing value and minimizing or eliminating altogether the option as for waste. Next, the key lean construction principles were identified by the Construction Industry Institute. And so, they had all this talk going around about what is lean construction. So the Construction Industry Institute out of Texas said, well, here, we're going to put together some key principles that we've noticed. The first being an organization's move towards customer focus. Secondly, they focus on culture and people of the company. Third is the workplace organization and standardization of processes. Fourth is your elimination of waste. And then lastly, is continuous improvement and built-in quality. The lean project delivery system, so the last planner system is kind of a piece of a bigger whole known as the lean project delivery system. The lean project delivery system is a holistic approach to construction projects. So it's taking all the variables in a construction project and it is evaluating them for where they can implement lean. The key principles in lean project delivery system is work structuring, production control, which is where the last planner falls, and then project definition. And for the lean project delivery system, there's 5 key departments that this thing falls under. And so first we have our project definition. Here's where it's kind of the thinking of the project. We go through our purposes, our design concepts, design criteria. And as you'll notice, some of the triangles here overlap. So we have design concepts. And so, when we're thinking about this thing and we're going to start getting into our lean design phase, we want to be thinking about how can we integrate lean into that to minimize waste. And then we move over to process design, product design, and here again, product design is falling into lean supply and lean design. So we're going to want to see where we can kind of mesh in lean principles into that. Then we move over into our lean supply. We have fabrication and logistics, detailed engineering. Maybe fabrication and logistics, we're going to want to see, hey, where can we get materials maybe close by to eliminate long lead times or any other kind of waste in the process. So we're going to get down to lean assembly in our fabrication and logistics as well. We may say, how can we get that to the site most efficiently? Our installation processes, we want to see about when we're building this out in the field. We want to engineer it in here on paper so it's easy to build in the field. Our commissioning is going to fall under use, operations and maintenance, alternation, and decommissioning. So that's kind of later on. All this falls under the production control scheme here with work structuring kind of supporting that. And at the end here of the use, we're going to continue our learning loop, and we're going to take that into our next project when we're determining purposes, design criteria, design concepts, and we're going to integrate those for a better project next time. 3 areas that's most heavily studied in the lean project delivery system is first the theory of project-based production systems. This is kind of, this is where the last planner falls, and we're studying how can we better trim our workflow processes to make them more lean, more efficient. Second is the production system itself. So that's something like the last planner system. And thirdly, the implementation of the system. That's where my study focuses. They got these contractors that hear about lean, hear about last planner. They don't really know how to integrate that into their everyday workforce. Okay. So the last planner system, kind of an overview of what it is. It's 5 major components, starting with master scheduling. 2 is phase or pull planning. 3 is make work ready planning. 4 is weekly work plans. 5 is continuous learning and improvement. The master scheduling, this is when we're going to be setting our milestones. So say if we're going to be moving heated air, that's going to be set as a milestone. We're going to use that to map our value stream and to eliminate tasks or activities that don't directly contribute value to our owners. Second is phase or pull planning. So we're going to use this side to think about that end task and say, hey, when we're mapping our value stream, we're allowing for the items that need to be done, that have to be done, to be in that value stream. We're not going to be adding in items that are nowhere near related to it, and they're just filler. They're called waste. So number 3 here, make work ready planning. This is having a workable backlog of projects. So say if we're going to be moving heated air to get to that activity, say there's, we've got to have the walls framed, or we've got to have the HVAC installed on the 1st or 2nd floor. So that's having a backlog ready so that we can just blow and go. We can get there, it's ready for us. We're not standing around waiting, wasting time. Weekly work plans is the weekly kind of fruition of the last planner system. You're talking with your last planners and getting accurate details of what can be done and what they will do for that week. And then continuous learning and improvement, this is where the percent plan complete method comes in. We're going to be measuring tasks. So say they had 5 activities to do this week, they only got 3 of them done. We're going to look back, hold them accountable, look back and see why they didn't get the others done, and kind of what went wrong there. And according to Howell and Ballard, kind of why are we using last planner? What does it do for us? And according to Howell and Ballard in their 2003 study, they saw it increase operating profits on construction projects by up to 80%, and that that can be very attractive in times of economic turmoil. And so where is that coming from? We're seeing decreased labor costs, savings on material waste, and that's just kind of back in that design phase, we're trying to get some of those waste in the process out. The research question. My research question was, what are the key barriers encountered by contractors whenever they're trying to implement the Lean project delivery system, and then how do they really react in overcoming those barriers? The purpose of the study is to identify those barriers commonly encountered and then improve the workflow productivity. So current industry knowledge from my literature review found there was 5 key components that I was able to kind of alienate. And so the first was poor planning. And so, there's a guy, Hamez and Bergstrom, said that, people that are already failing to plan jobs, they're probably not going to be the greatest at planning to implement this new system in the first place. And that was kind of one thing they pointed out. Lack of leadership. So, they went through Ballard in 2007 and said, well, when we see this system is failing, it's usually, and it's a lack of leadership, it's usually because there wasn't a top-down buy-in from our top management. And then thirdly, there's implementation time frame. They really recommend using the system at the very beginning and tracing it, using it throughout the project, getting in there as early as possible. They found whenever people implemented it later, there was a heavy learning curve, and so, just because of that,